starting soon.
Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another SandStorm meetup. Today, I am joined by the Dystopunks, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or is it Kenoble?
Kenobi.
Oh, he left. I read his name wrong. He said, "I'm out of here."
Nope, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, and
Yep.
Papa Bones, how you guys doing? Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Doing great.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. I appreciate anyone watching today on this lovely Friday. I like to usually start the show out with a little bit of an introduction. I guess tell me a little bit about the team and how the project started.
Sure. Obi, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So, project started a little over a year ago. Kind of at the beginning of this whole NFT craze that was 2021. Decadente, who is the owner and founder of Dystopunks, started out with 100 experimental NFTs. It was a punk derivative, as you can see, and from there it kind of blew up afterwards, and it kind of rode the wave of to what you see today, with a lot of things going on in between, obviously. I was there in the beginning. I grabbed, I believe it was number 77 that I grabbed. And yeah, it was just a cool way to kind of feel like you were part of the punk experience without actually having a crypto punk. So
yeah, I can add to that. I was just getting started in the NFT space a year ago, and crypto punks were awesome. Definitely like the pixel art, and there was a sort of movement at the time called unofficial punks, and a bunch of artists were creating derivatives of CryptoPunk art. And Decadente basically had the best looking, the most solid vision for a different aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It was something else. He clearly wasn't just it wasn't like a copy pasta thing. Like, he was creating new art.
Yeah.
And we all keyed in on that from the start. It was crisp, it looked great. Deca himself was this massive degen. So there's this, it's the whole thing. It's not just the art. It was the community that he was building, the people that were gathering in the Discord, a bunch of degens, all shooting the shit 24/7.
Yeah.
That's how we got started.
Awesome. And you said the project is a little over a year old. What day did you guys mint?
Oh God!
I guess what month? I guess.
Do you have the date? I don't remember.
I don't have the date. It has. I believe we just passed it though, so it had to have been in April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right.
You guys had to have been like one of the first, I guess, punk derivatives.
Oh yeah, so if you can go back a year. I mean, this was the time when Picasso punks and all these there was
the Gan punks
there. Yep, Gan punks. Yep. So yeah, it's like Papa said. I mean, it was one of those. It's a couple things, right? Deca being not just an owner, like as you see today in today's world, you see a founder of an NFT project, and there's 20,000 people in Discord, blah blah blah, all this stuff. So you don't really feel connected to the owners as much. They'll pop in and out. Back in the day, Deca was in several servers with us, and at the time it was, hey, Deca's an artist, and you're talking to him every day, and it's like, let's check out what you got. And going into his project, you're like, dang, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: you're not just supporting a fellow community member who he was in, like I said, several Discord servers with us, but you went in there to support somebody who was doing it with you, right? You didn't feel like you were getting any. We didn't get into it because we thought we were going to get something back, and I believe that's where we're at in this space now, where you meant something with the expectation of getting something in return.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it wasn't like that. In the beginning, it was just, damn, I really like this art, and by buying one of these pieces, I'm going to be part of a community. And is this a community that I want to be a part of, and let other people know that I'm a part of?
Mm-hmm.
And from the beginning, Deca has been awesome with that, and I still believe to this day we still hold those same values in our Discord. It's the same people from the beginning. I know we've gotten several new people in there since VX launched, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But he really did set the precedence for what Dystopunks was as a community and a project very early in the beginning.
Oh yeah, and we've it's like we've also had growing pains, so the I kind of like early on I was just a holder, big fan kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the project was growing and the needs were growing, and we as a community were identifying the needs, and we recognized that Dystopunks was bigger than just Deca, and we needed to help him. We wanted to help him. We wanted to help any way we could. And so, we ended up forming the Dystopunk Council with Deca, and that gave community members the ability to take on a sort of official role on the team, and propose things, and then we can discuss proposals ahead of time, sort of have a little bit of a structure, to how we're going to bring the project forward, and that's helped a lot, I think. I mean, some of the ideas you see now were came out of these discussions. So CREDS, like creating our own token, that came out of discussion of between us and the tokenomics for the system. And we honestly still haven't seen the full blown like, it's just taken a while for us to fully execute on the ideas, but the ideas are solid. As you see that roadmap there, we're working towards all of those things. We're checking off the boxes, we're hitting all of the items, it's all getting done. That's not a problem. But so basically the 2077 pixel art 2D art collection, those Dystopunks all generate 7 creds a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea is that you'll be able to use creds within our ecosystem to do whatever you want with dystos, and like one of those things is buy and mint a crate, which you can do today. So the crates have been enabled, but of course the issue is you can't open the crates yet.
Yeah.
so it's not a fully realized ecosystem just yet, because you can buy the crates, you can mint the crates, but they're just sitting there as a ERC token on the web currently. But eventually you're going to be able to pop those open and get a mixture of mostly voxel art assets. I think that got some plans from some pixel art, but it'll be RNG. You're going to get maybe you can get a legendary item, that kind of thing. It'll be really fun. That's coming soon. That's our next big drop, is the ability to open crates with the Disto Lab. So that's the next big roadmap item. But yeah, like all of this stuff has been really evolutionary. Like Deca's been growing with the space just as we have as a community, and part of the reason why we're doing this show is we just want to get the word out and join us. It's an awesome group of people. Everyone's learning in this space.
Yeah,
we have an alpha channel, of course, and we've actually had amazing actionable alpha. For example, we were in on Subducks, we were in on Doodles. A lot of our members were able to mint 5 Doodles back in the day because we had the we knew about the project, we had the connections. So
wow.
It's sometimes alpha really does matter. There's a lot of alpha running around, and like you never know, but we have some OGs in the space, and you get a good read from people on what's worth putting your ETH into.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's extremely valuable. I know that was what a lot of people talked about, I guess, with kind of like with cybercongs, as they said that a lot of them had people that were on the inside and had good alpha and good information.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and
It's like that kind of light. I mean, definitely the Kongs are the the OG. You know,
yeah,
they've got more muscle, but we're a smaller version of that, I would say, for sure.
I mean, five doodles. I mean, that could have been life changing for somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, yeah, and I think now, you mentioned, I guess, kind of where the space is now, and you guys being around for over a year. Like, yeah, it started out as you just minted something because it looked cool and you wanted to rep it. And I will say, no disrespect to the punks, but you guys, I like your guys' punks better.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see the community shares that sentiment for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys have any punk holders that like came over and bought some Dystopunks?
We actually do. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think you guys look awesome. I like it.
Well,
I like the futuristic look.
we that actually helped the project early on. I'd say the CryptoPunk holders have gotten, they were so early in the space, they've gotten busy and all have like, basically probably like 3 jobs or whatever, they're off like running companies and stuff. But like G Money was a key Dystopunk holder. He still is. He's like a top 5 Dystopunk holder.
Yeah.
And G Money's an OG CryptoPunk. He's got his own brand. Like, he's got his logo on Adidas gear. You know what I mean? G Money he's the real deal, and he's got a Dystopunk ape. Like for a while that translated, I think, into credibility. People popped in because of it. Now I don't know. It's more about like what can you do for me? You know what I mean? It's all about utility nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like the space has kind of moved from people wanting to just represent a community to now everyone's like, oh, where's my airdrop? What do I get from this? What do I get from that?
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask, you mentioned the CREDS and having a token and stuff. Like, you guys have added utility to the NFT. Like, I guess what exactly does somebody that has a Dystopunk, like what utility do they get?
Do you want to talk about that, Obi? Or?
Yeah, for sure. So with the CREDS, the CRED is going to be the backbone of our ecosystem, and that really is going to be utilized once we get our Disto lab up and running, which is, like Papa said, our next big update to Dystopunks.
Yeah.
We're gonna have several big updates. Most important being, we're gonna have a new redesign of our website, which they're working on now, which you're gonna be able to see all those things in real time. Right now, the big focus with CREDS is our crates. Crates are going to be able. We are going to utilize crates in a way that the best way we can describe it is I know a lot of people out there, Fortnite seasons type deal.
Yeah.
This is really going to allow us the flexibility to use them and really be able to do whatever we want. We have a very creative bunch that's going to help us with this, but I mean, it's going to help with collaborations. Season 1 could be, our project is, we have a lot of ties with CyberCongs, and can we use something to bridge the two? Can we have a banana backpack or a banana something? Anything that we can do with those, we're gonna be able to do those. And as the seasons progress, and we kind of get into this, and we're gonna be able to utilize those crates in a lot of different ways. Like I said, we have a very creative bunch, and we're looking forward to.
Yeah, let me talk about that a little bit, Obi. So we do have a current crate drop. It's 7,777 crates. And those they're actively still mintable. You can mint one with CREDS. It costs 300 CREDS to mint a crate. And we've decided this is kind of alpha or whatever, but we've decided to do it in seasons. So this will be that first release of the 7,777 crates. That'll essentially be season 1.
Yeah.
And so there'll be some items that you can only get. A lot of these items maybe we'll have to decide sort of what the mix is. I think some items will only be available in this season. I'm sure we'll have some evergreen things that we'll always release, and just to make available to punks.
Yeah.
And that's actively being built right now. We have voxel artists working on all of the items. It's a mix of. Let me just sort of pull up the list. The crates are going to be filled with all kinds of weapons that you can equip on your Dystopunk in Sandbox. Gear. We've got pets that'll be animated and will follow you around in Sandbox. We've got vehicles that are not currently rideable just because it's a Sandbox limitation. But as soon as Sandbox enables vehicles, you'll be able to ride them. And those will come out of the crate. So somebody will get lucky and will get like a hovercraft or whatever in their crate.
And they'll have if they get a crate now, they could have like I guess a season 1 crate. Whereas like once Sandbox is fully usable and people are doing stuff within your land or in other lands, they'll be like, yo, where'd you get that? Oh, dude, I got that season 1 like months ago.
That's right.
That's
right. Yeah. Like that. Where did that like cyberpunk katana come from? Oh, I got that from Disto Crates, season 1.
Yeah,
for sure. So we're Deca's still evolving the aesthetic of Dystopunks and how it translates into voxel art. So it's still a work in progress. Like you can see we've done the VX drop already. That's all solid and launched, looking good. But then like how does the city work? We're working on the do you want to talk about the city build at all, or should I do that, Obi?
Well, that I was just gonna say, you guys need to stop me if I'm dropping too much alpha, because I tend to do that when I'm talking. So, that's the huge thing that we're doing. We actually partnered with Land Vault.
Nice.
So Land Vault is we're in development now. We've seen some concept art that we've released leaks to the community, and let me tell you, if it's even half as crazy looking and as the concept, Greystone City is going to be something special in the Sandbox. We have it all. I mean, there's an MMA arena, as you know. One of our more rare VXs are the MMA guys in there. High skyscraper type deals. Race tracks. I mean, there's going to be so much going on in there. I mean, as you know, 6x6 is not small in Sandbox, and we're planning to utilize a lot of that space with community input. I mean, when you see Greystone City, when you walk in there, it wasn't a small group of people that put that together. It was 100% a community effort and ideas from the community that is going to bring that to fruition. And Land Vault is helping us bring that to life, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great for the community.
I would say that's a great point. That we do take pride in is taking input from all of the community members on ideas, and people share concepts, and we've brought some of those things to life already. We've got future plan. Like once we have, so it's kind of like you have to build to get there, but we definitely have plans for a casino in Greystone City. That'll be you'll be able to use CREDS in the casino for sure. That's the plan. And we've got an MMA arena, so we want to do cool things like actually enable battles between Dystopunks in the arena in Greystone City. For prizes, that kind of stuff. I mean, you just like all of this. Obviously, we have to build kind of the under. We have to build the foundation first, but it's going to enable all this utility that people are asking for and wanting. Like, you need to build the utility on top of something. So, first we had to get the VX avatars, and we had to get those solid and looking good, and then be in something that you would actually want to represent yourself in the metaverse, right? That's step 1. And then step 2 is to have a place where you can meet your other fellow, Dystopunks, and that's in Sandbox right now. Just to mention it, we're not betting all the farm on although we love Sandbox, we think it's fantastic and we want to build on top of it, and we are building on top of it. I mean, we're committing a large amount of ETH to build out Greystone City. But that said, we're also going to look at other metaverses too, so we've got World Wide Web 3 bodies being designed for your just for the V2 collection, so for the 2D art collection.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to be able to take those Dystopunks into the metaverse as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's really just the beginning, but of course it takes a while. It's
Yeah.
like people mint and they're like, where's my instant utility, you know? And I mean, that's fair, but it's also, the reality is it just takes time.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. And yeah, we had a project on was it earlier this week or was it last week? And you know, they were real big on building in the sandbox. And yeah, I told them that you know, it's all gonna just rely on when Sandbox releases stuff. And I think, I mean,
Yeah.
you guys have a 6x6 land, so that's gonna be just huge. And I think when there's millions of people playing the Sandbox and they're looking at these different lands, like your guys' land, I think is gonna be something that's gonna stick out, and they're gonna be like, I gotta go see what's going on there. And I mean, microtransactions in games right now are huge. And I think, like, yeah, that utility will just come when people are playing the Sandbox or other metaverses versus, you know, these projects now that release and then they just airdrop you another NFT. And it's like, is that really utility, or are they just giving you free stuff, and people like free things right now?
Yeah. And that we definitely are inspired by the Kongs. You know, that they are one of the true innovators in the space for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, the tokenomics, some of the technical aspects of what they built's amazing. And we have a lot of Kongs in our Discord, in our, you know, on the council we have Kongs, and you know, they're friends of ours, and we really respect what they're doing. And you know, it is kind of a pain point for us as a smaller community to be like, why is Sandbox not showcasing CyberKongs more? Because they are, you know, the best at what they do.
Yeah.
And you know, we've definitely taken cues from them. Other projects have. I would love to see Sandbox like reward that a little bit more in just sort of marketing and hype. And you know, like they'll hype some random shitty project, and we're like, why? You know, like why are you not mentioning CyberKongs? Because
Yeah.
they mentioned some other like cheap knockoff Kong thing, you know, and you're like, what? I don't even get it. And that happens with all these projects. You see it in Coinbase too, where they decide to, like, some person inside Coinbase decides to like showcase, you know, some random rug pull project, and you're
The
like,
guy showcasing them owns 100 of them.
yeah, yeah, or you know, or you're like, what? Why would they pick, you know, whatever? I don't want to knock projects, but you know what I mean. Like they'll pick out some random project that doesn't have credibility within the communities, you know, and they'll
Yeah.
get showcased. So I don't know. It's what you're doing is awesome. I think this is amazing. You like handpick projects that are interesting and talk to them. I don't know. How's that going for you? I guess one question for you.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I definitely, as someone who, I guess, participates in the NFT space, you know, it helps me learn about projects that I might not have known about, or, you know, just different things that people are doing, things that are working for them, things that aren't working for them. I guess I don't really partake in the picking of who comes on the show, but I mean, we have guests every week, and we have a pretty, I think, far out schedule of people that are planning on coming on. So
yeah, the interest seems massive in Sandbox. They just need to go live.
yeah, that's a thing. I talked to a lot of projects about it. It's like, yeah, like we'll just never know what'll be possible until Sandbox, I guess, releases, and like how many people are going to play it, and how popular will it be with like live streamers and YouTubers and things like that. Because I think that's also important. And yeah, we'll just definitely have to see what.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, to that end, with what you just said, that, you know, with it not being released yet, and I go back to this a lot. The possibilities are endless in Sandbox, right? I mean, it's not, you know, we've obviously experienced these delays, and there's a large number of people that are, you know, a little discouraged by that. But what gets me excited, kind of going back to utility with crates and everything, is that you can be as creative as you want. You know, one of the big things for me that I always see this happening with utilizing CREDS and our crates is, you know, put yourself in a space where you go and, let's just, for example, use the MMA arena, where that's just something you want to do, right? I mean, a lot of people like fighting games. They like to do all these different things. And, you know, in our crates, we have something like brass knuckles from Dystopia, right? I'm just making things up. That may or may not be a thing.
Yeah.
But it's a rare item, right? It's season 1. It's 1 of 5, and for whatever reason, that item has this special thing that when you go into a thing, it gives you an edge. And when you're fighting and you're doing your stuff, there's creds on the line. Well, when you become the undisputed champ in Greystone City, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that you got these brass knuckles of Dystopia. What is that worth to somebody? What is that worth to the guy that always gets second place? That just doesn't have that one thing, So, Land Vault is that's another point. Land Vault is helping us with creating a wide variety of elements inside the crate. So it's not just us. It's Land Vault's going to bring our ideas to fruition in the crate, which we are very excited for. That's a very talented team over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the possibilities are endless, and we got some big ideas, and we're gonna bring them to the people for sure.
Yeah, the city is fun. The build has been fun so far. Working with them on the concepting. We're gonna have like an elevated train that you can ride around the city. Deca keeps coming up with sweet ideas. We're gonna have a black market.
Nice.
It's gonna be good. So it's definitely a post-apocalyptic, cyberpunk future. Dystopunks absolutely, I think, has an aesthetic that's unique and has evolved way beyond, a derivative project at this point. I mean, I think Obi would agree. In our humble opinions, our VX are like what Meebits should have been. Like it is so much better.
Yep.
Like I still can't bring myself to buy a Meebit, even when like freaking
Yuga's promoting them.
When Gordon like tweets out they're gonna bring utility for them or whatever. It's like cool.
Yeah.
They look like trash,
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. It'd be maybe people like Meebits, I guess. But it's fine. Like I would buy a Meebit for like 1 ETH, sure. I like it that level, but I'm not paying like 10 ETH for a Meebit. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. I guess it's whatever you like. But
here's the other thing. When Sandbox launches and you have the masses coming to this platform, it's going to be undeniable, right? I mean, right now it's speculation, it's this and that, and the space moves at 1,000 miles an hour. At the end of the day, when this gets launched and you line up all of the VX projects and you really want something that's going to stick out aesthetically, as well as have a great community, somewhere to hang out, that's great. I mean, Dystopunks are, I mean, it's not because I'm biased. It just is what it is. I have yet to see one that compares to what Deca and the team has done. And I think at the end of the day, that's what's going to matter. So you kind of see everything's a little slow and people a little worried, but I'll tell you what, man, our community, none of that matters. Floor price doesn't matter. Everything's just noise. It's one of the most great places that from all the servers that I'm in, when I go into distos, everybody's always just talking about what we're doing. What are we building? Looking forward to the next thing. It's not like, oh man, my bag's, down and oh, I should have never bought this, and I see that every single day in all the servers that I'm in, including some of the good ones that I'm in, ones that I've been in for the longest time. So, like I said, man, you're not going to compare or compete with Yuga, right? So it's kind of one of those things that Dystopunks project prides itself in, and we're not the fastest. We don't have this huge team, and we're trying our best to bring everything as fast as we can, but we also understand that this is the long game and things are going to get done right.
But that's a great point. I just want to push on that a little bit, Obi. I kind of talked about it a little bit early on too. How the project scope has evolved, and before it was basically just Deca doing everything, and then he gained a couple people, and he got another dev, and then we got him one more dev. So we've got a couple full-time devs on the team, but it's still a very small team, and we have to supplement with partnerships. So we're working with Land Vault to build out the city. There's just no way we could get it done this summer without their help. But now that we've done that and we've found teams that we're comfortable working with and that can deliver at a quality level that DECA requires, we are starting to move faster. So I do actually feel good about promising delivery of the crate contents and getting the city built, because I know it's happening. It definitely will never be fast enough for people, but we're moving on these things, and it's going to keep rolling out. So
I mean, Landval does great work, so I think you guys will probably be very pleased with what they do with your land, for sure.
Yeah, it's good so far. They've been awesome, super responsive and easy to work with, and exchange of ideas. Like, we'll bring one thing and they'll bring another thing, and then we have a conversation about it. It's exactly what you want in a collaboration like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Obi, you were kind of talking there.
No worries. No, that's exactly right. I think the formation of the Disto Council and has been amazing and paramount to where we're at today. Deca, he's brilliant. As an artist, what he is to this space, I don't think he gets enough credit in the grand scheme of things for what he's done in this space. He's a degen just like us, but he has put his whole life into what Dystopunks is, and believe me, it wasn't easy for Deca to kind of, give the reins over to people. But I think he's
trust people,
the trust, exactly, the trust. But everybody on the Disto Council has been there from the beginning and believes in the project, believes in who Deca is, and I think he's at a point now where he's he trusts us. He trusts us with doing this, being his voice on these type of platforms to spread the word of what Dystopunks is and furthering, continuing to grow the community and who we are. So props to Deca and everything he's done thus far. It's amazing what he's done by himself. But now with the addition of us and the council and a couple devs that we got full time, I mean, and they're high quality devs that share the same mission. So no, it's great. I'm happy to be part of this team from the get go, not just from a collector standpoint, but I mean, that's somebody who really enjoys it. Yep.
Yeah. That on that point also will be like, that's part of it, right? That's what's so exciting about this space is you're participating in it.
Yep.
Like you're not just a collector.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had people contribute in different ways. We have whatever they're comfortable with. We have some people in the Discord, SkyTurbs, shout out to SkyTurbs. He just took it on his own to go to Fiverr and get a bunch of emoticons and stickers built for the Discord. Spend his own money and came back with some sweet icons,
some stuff for the Discord.
Yeah, and and everyone used them immediately. Everybody loved it, and it's just we even asked him for more. Stuff like that happens, and that's 100% organic. Like nobody asked for it or ordered it or whatever. It's just people wanted to contribute to the project.
Yep. I think that's really underrated. Because I mean, I keep mentioning how the NFT space has changed just even over the past couple months, and I guess last year, one of the main ones that I saw pop off, I guess through community building was Lazy Lions, and just people would join an NFT community just to be a part of that community and help the community. No one cared about the art or cared about what utility it was brought. It was just they were there for either the memes or the fact that they had similar people that they could interact with, you just see people that they do random things within that community, get stickers or even draw them themselves, or just I don't know, it's cool to see for sure.
Yeah.
It's a to that point, I think that is something that has been lost in this space. Us as humans, we are inherently want to be a part of something. And NFTs, I have not been a part of anything quite like NFTs and what that community belonging means. When I first got into this, I got into this because of Gary Vee. I listened to his stuff all the time, and he was very early on in 2021. He was preaching about NFTs, and the big thing that he would talk about was community. community. And I always kind of listen to that, and I'm like, this is kind of this mumbo jumbo. Oh, it's all about community
Right.
and
It's like
being a part.
it's a keyword, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I never really bought into it. I was like, whatever, dude, community, whatever. But then when you find a community that you fit into and belong to, and you take pride in being a part of, it's like you guys said, nothing else matters. Like, this is your family. This is a group of people that for a year now, I've been talking to these people every single day, you know? And I do believe that has gotten lost in the last year with these big projects and stuff. I mean, Gary V's, it's funny because, Gary V, I'm in V Friends. I was part of the V Friends V1, and I always make fun of it because it's a little bit weird. You go into that Discord and you can't even talk. You can't really with anybody because there's 300,000 people in there. Like, I'd be lying to you if I said like, oh, I belong to V1. Like, I have one and I'm following what they're doing, but at a certain point, you stop having that feeling of belonging. And I think what's going to end up happening, and this is just me kind of looking into the future, I do believe these hype projects that are massive and stuff, I think people are going to start to realize that when you can get into a project that community really is the core of what that project is, and you start to make these connections, these relationships, that's when people are really going to see what NFTs, and I'm talking about the new people. For us guys that have been in here from the beginning, we already know what that's about, and that's why.
Yeah, Obi, just one point on that. Yeah. I've kind of been witnessing. It doesn't quite happen enough. I wish it happened more often, but I love it when it happens. And occasionally somebody will buy a Dystopunk and they immediately clicks for them.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, they're on Twitter. That's like they've changed their PFP. They're like, boosting up the signal. They're in the Discord. Like it just clicks. It's so awesome to see that when it happens, because it's like that person is now a lifer. Like they're a Dystopunk for life.
Yep.
I love to see that, and like doing this show is kind of like hopefully we'll get a couple more. It's really just it doesn't take a lot, just a few people to grow the community, and you want to grow it the right way.
Yep.
And that's the way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, to that point, like, yeah, there's some NFTs that I buy that I would literally never set as my profile picture on Twitter.
Yep.
And then there's certain hype projects that I've literally never seen anyone repping on their profile picture.
Yeah, right.
And it's like they paid 10 ETH for that. And I've never seen anyone like actually using that as a PFP. And yeah, I think, the market's just moved to everyone, you say you listen to Gary Vee. He had something that he did. He has touched on before, that he's worried about people getting greedy and just worrying too much about money. And I think that's kind of like the stage that we're at, where everyone's.
I 100% agree with that. That's exactly where we're at. Where we are in the greed stage of this. And like anything, it's the market. We're in that stage where, like I said, you don't get into and I'm guilty of this too with new mints. You don't get into a project without first asking yourself, what am I getting in return? Which that's where we're at. And in the beginning, it wasn't like that. I can remember my first project that I minted was CyberKongs, and it was the Genesis collection. And there was 1,000 of these beautiful gorillas that were on my screen on OpenSea, and I didn't even know how MetaMask worked. I didn't know how gas worked. I didn't know how any of that stuff worked on the Ethereum network. I knew Ethereum was a thing, but I didn't know how these transactional processes worked. And I remember sitting there the day they launched, and they had come up just by chance, and I'm going through and I'm looking, and then I found the one that I wanted. And I got that for 0.01 ETH, and I paid $60 in gas. And I remember feeling this buyer's remorse. Like, what the hell did I just do? I just spent $120 on a picture of a monkey online. Like, what did I just do? And then going back to the, right away, the community started, and I jumped into Discord for the first time ever. And I'm like, okay, so there's something here. There's something more to, this picture isn't just a picture. It represents something. And that was really the big thing for me in the beginning. That was before bananas. That was before breeding. That was before any of that stuff, So like I said, we've come a long ways for sure, but I think there's definitely going to be some painful moments in this space until people really figure out the underlying what the underlying good things are with NFTs. And I believe community is at the core of that for sure, and something that, like I said, Dystopunks prides itself in.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to segue into. I wanted to talk about your guys' Dystopunk comics that you guys have released. You guys have had 2 of those released so far, correct?
Yeah, with the third one coming.
Third one coming. Who does those?
Encode Graphics.
Encode Graphics, nice.
Yep,
nice.
Encode Graphics. Yep.
Primal Cipher is the principal there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess is it an NFT that you can mint, or is it just kind of like just a comic on like the website that people can read through?
No, they are actually NFTs. Well, it's a little bit of both. You can go to their website and read it, and if any of you guys got some downtime, they've done an awesome job bringing the Dystopunks to life.
Mm-hmm.
They look so good.
Yeah, the art and everything. Yeah,
it's one of those things where you just like you have to build it and hope people show up. But I mean, the comics. I've tweeted about this before, but I still have yet to see a better NFT comics project, including even, some of those other projects. But it's just like he killed it. Encode Graphics killed it. It's this dystopunk future. They really reimagined and built on the vision that Deca established, and it's really good. The Encode team has had some execution bugaboos, so they've kind of been overpromising, under-delivering a little bit as far as the technology goes, because they've had this vision of NFT comics, right? And they want to create a whole ecosystem and a way to mint them and a way to create your own. They're doing their own avatar projects. So they've got a bunch of stuff going on. They've definitely delivered on the Dystopunk comics though. The 2 are great writing, the inking, like it's Encode is employing people, ex professionals or maybe even current, but like professionals that work with Marvel and DC and those guys, so they work with AAA comic people to do the content, and it looks fantastic. And it's sort of like almost like a under-respected aspect of our project that we have this sweet.
Yep.
That's awesome. I think they're awesome.
Yeah. So
and when you guys look at these comics, every single one of those Dystopunks is an actual Dystopunks from the 2077.
I was just
collection.
about to ask that.
So that's another. I mean, Encode's brought these Dystopunks to life. We just got so. I mean, I'm like right now. I'm like don't want to release too much, but we just have so much exciting things in the future that we got planned, and to anybody listening that kind of interested, because we're talking about it and stuff, and stop by the Discord, come and check it out. Do some research. Papa and I and the rest of the council are in there. Hash Wizard, one of our mods, shout out to Hash. He's amazing at onboarding people with any questions. That guy doesn't sleep. It's kind of his superpower. And he will sit there for hours talking to you about how great distos are. So yeah, no, it's the future is exciting. When you get past all the noise in the space, Dystopunks is one of those sleeping giants. I truly believe.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, can we get are you on the Twitch stream as well, Sharp? Can we get our website link posted into the stream chat?
Yes, I think Slater could probably do that.
I tried to log in and I didn't. I just followed you now, and it's got like a 30-minute.
I think it's so like bots can't come through, but yeah, he just Slater just posted it. Yeah,
it takes time. Yeah, just to mention that our VX collection is still live minting. We have about 1,000 or so left. We cranked through like the first like 7K really quickly, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then it's been a slow drip. Deca's chosen to leave it open for people. He, just if people want to mint, they can, kind of thing. So there's a few hundred left, like over 1,000, but not a lot. So if you actually want to make your own Dystopunk, you can.
Hey, Papa, how many legendaries are still out there? There's a couple, isn't there?
I think there's still 2 legendaries. So yeah.
I mean that's the big one. That's the big one. There's 2 legendaries left, and every single legendary is epic.
And that's what we've been seeing on screen here. Like we got the Dragon Ball Z Goku here.
The Goku character. The ones that are left, I think, are the Cyber Ninja is one of them, and then the Cyber Samurai.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice. So the VX models are different from the original V2 collection? Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the V2 collection got a special 1-of-1 of their V2.
Nice. And then you're also minting other ones out after that as well.
Yeah, and this was our way to expand our community. 2000 isn't very much in the grand scheme of things. And well, the price point now is actually, I mean, for anybody interested, and you really do your research, a lot of people don't know this. Dystopunks was a 10 ETH project at one point, at the height of the NFT bull. We were at 10 ETH. I mean, there was some people in here. Unfortunately, people don't like things to go slow, and it's come down. And God, we are at an entry point right now that people were wishing it was several months back. So if you guys want to check it out, here's the other thing: V2s will always be rewarded as the primary collection. We are always looking to give value back to the owners, and V2s at the front of that. We have big plans for V2 as well as VX.
It's definitely an ecosystem, right? Yep. So the V2s, the 2D collection, those are the token generators. If you have a V2, they generate 7 CREDS a day, every day. And so, we have lots of plans for the CREDS. So it's good to have CREDS. So, it's probably, if you're going to be in a Dystopunk, definitely recommend having at least one. And then the VX are more about gameplay. Obviously that's your disto in the metaverse. Mm-hmm. So some of the gameplay you'll only be able to do if you have a VX, because it's going to require you to actually be running around and doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the value will come for a VX. It will be more through gameplay. The 2D Dystopunks will create value just through holding. So if you have one, you're going to get CREDS. You're going to have the credibility of being an OG holder. It'll unlock some extra Discord channels for you. Like we try to reserve some of our most exclusive information for V2 holders. Mm-hmm. We sort of do tiering. So we'll do whitelist giveaways for everyone, including VX, and then we'll usually reserve a few additional slots just for V2 holders, so they get more chances, kind of thing. So go ahead.
No, well, we got a question. Make cost is 0.077. You'll see that on the website.
0.077. If you guys are wanting to mint some VXs, go click the link that was posted in chat. I guess just talking more about Sandbox and VXs. Do you guys plan on, doing any type of games within Sandbox?
Oh yeah. Deca has. Those are all things that we're working on as we speak. The big thing, and we can't release too much, because we do want to have some surprises for you guys. But and once everything comes out, right now the big focus is finishing up what we've promised, and that's Disto Lab is the next big one, and bringing that to the forefront of everybody. But no, we got like I said, we got a creative team, and we got a bunch of stuff that we're gonna be able to utilize Greystone and for games and stuff. Yeah.
I think I like the idea of the crates, and I don't know, I'm just thinking with a 6x6 land, you could literally be like, all right, we've hidden a crate somewhere in our world, and whoever finds it gets a rare sword or something.
Yeah.
That would be cool to just have a whole bunch of people running around this whole 6x6 city and trying to find a crate.
Sandbox always reminds me, and it's one of my favorite movies, and I think that's why this always gets me jacked. But Ready Player One, I mean, the racetrack, and kind of that type of deal when he finds the first key, or an open-ended game where you're playing it every single day. You're able to play it, and there's something special for the person who beats it, and it's not as not as easy as it seems to just cross the finish line. So there's definitely, like I said, we're getting all our minds together, and we're definitely going to do some fun things like that for as big as this land is.
Yeah. No, I think like we'll see where Sandbox goes and how big it'll be. But I did want to talk to you about World Wide Web 3. We haven't really touched on that much. I did see you guys are doing an apartment building contest currently.
Yeah. There's just for, I think it's like 5 days left on the so you have to join our Discord to do it. Let me look it up. I want to look up the details to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving away a few
I think it said like CREDS, maybe some Ethereum, whole bunch of stuff.
And ETH. And ETH, money. So let me find it. And again, this was like another community members. One of the Dystopunk council members is a fan of World Wide Web and what they're doing, and suggested this idea, and we did it.
Yeah.
So the prize pool is so that the we're doing a build out of designs for a Web3, and the top winner is going to get one V2, so that's pretty cool. You're going to get a V2 collection 2D Dystopunk, 5 VX Dystopunks, 5 Dystolab crates, 2,000 CREDS, and 0.3 ETH. So that's the number one prize, which is a pretty solid.
That's a pretty hefty prize.
Yeah, that adds up. And then the second prize is 3 Dystopunks VX, 3 Dystolab crates, 1,000 CREDS, and 0.1 ETH. And then the third prize is 1 Dystopunks VX, 1 Dystolab crate, and 500 CREDS. So pretty sweet. Yeah. And it's free. You just have to come in to the chat. I think this is for. Do you have to have a VX to be part of this? I think you might have to.
Yeah. Be part of the community is one of the.
So you do actually have to be a Dystopunk holder of some kind.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what. In any of the collections, any of the NFTs, as long as you have one, then you're eligible for this contest. Wow. And so far we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say we have less than 10 submissions so far. So like eight submissions so far. So not a bad hit rate. You got a good chance. It takes effort to design something in Web3. People.
Yeah. Anyone in chat's good at designing stuff in World Wide Web 3, join the Discord, join their community. I would suggest trying to get up in there and design something.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I'm still learning. I was into Web3 early. I like just flipped it because I was like, cool, it went up in price. But then I came back and bought some more apartments because I really have been impressed with what they're doing. So they're bringing more value. They're like, you never know. That's the thing with these projects, right? When it first blew up, it could have been a rug. Like, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But they're clearly delivering. They're creating games. They're creating events. They're doing all kinds of fun stuff in the metaverse. And we've been tracking that. So we decided to commit to creating the full bodies for it. So if you have a V2, if you have a 2D art Dystopunk, you will get for free I believe. That's right, Obi. We're just gonna enable those for everyone, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, it's cool stuff. Super exciting. I think, again, this is just sort of like, this is our thesis is that once you're in a community, you want to express yourself in various metaverses. So we're going to try to make that possible for everyone.
Nice. Well, we are coming up towards the end of the show. I did want to ask if you felt like there was anything that we didn't touch on that you guys would like to talk about, or any closing thoughts that you guys have.
Just that we'd love to see you. I mean, it's been kind of a downturn in the market so one closing market thought, I guess, is the last couple of months, it's sort of been this rush for just like the top 5 projects, and all the money's been running into, those projects. And so people in these middle and smaller projects have been getting a little bit depressed, I think. They don't see their price rising. They're like, what's up? But like Obi's saying, it really doesn't have to be about the price. It can be about what you do with it and what the technology enables, and just have fun with it. So, we've got a great welcoming community. I think, we have enough OG people that can help you kind of get started in the NFT space. If you have questions, people are happy to answer it. So I just really like to see people come in and be active and have questions. And, we do have a, as Deca said, Deca just texted, we're the punks of the metaverse. We definitely see ourselves as the banner holders of the punk aesthetic. Now the CryptoPunks got purchased by one of the big, by the 800-pound gorilla in the space. Like Dystopunks, we're still punk, man, and we're always going to be punk.
Yeah.
So if you want an edge, if you want to feel a little bit of an edge, and like that's where you should come and join us. That's my pitch.
Nope, I agree. There hasn't been a better time for someone to join Dystopunks. Just in terms of anything. Like I said, that we in the September, people were dying to jump in, and we're here
sweeping the floor for 7 ETH at one point.
Yep. So we're here to stay. I mean, that's the biggest thing that we can say. And for everybody that's new out there, that's kind of getting lost in the sauce, as some people would say, you come check out Dystopunks. It's a great community. You're going to learn a lot. And it's to go back to that punk mentality. I mean, we're a solid group that we're building. There's a lot of noise in the space right now. There is. And
and we'll help you make it through that noise,
Yep. So, and like I said, there hasn't been a better time to be part of the Dystopunks. And we got a lot of fun stuff coming. I'm excited. This is kind of one of those things. It's a sleeping giant, in my opinion. Cream is always going to rise to the top. It's just the way I look at it, especially in this space. And another little tidbit that I want to leave everybody with is, and this isn't just us, this is for any project. Look at the team. Look at who the team's comprised of. And I'm not talking about, Snoop Dogg is an advisor and stuff. Like, no, really look at the people on the team. For us, we're a bunch of degens that absolutely love this project, and we asked Deca, hey Deca, how can we help? And now the ownership is even more. We're very heavily invested in Dystopunks and want to see it succeed. So yeah, and we're always looking.
More emotionally invested than anything else, but
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So no, come check us out. Mint a couple VXs. Like I said, those legendaries are still out there. At the end of the day, I think we have the best looking VXs by a long shot. As you can see on the screen, they're going to be something you want once Sandbox gets going.
Yeah, can't wait for Dystopunks to stand out in the crowd once the Sandbox, once people are just running around in all these different spaces, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to notice a Dystopunk.
Yeah. I think that's going to be really important to, like you said, stand out in the crowd, because you're going to see a bunch of people trying to mint VXs, and the ones that'll stand out will be the ones that'll rise to the top.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on for this chat. I think it was an awesome show. Like I said in stream, make sure you guys are following the stream, but make sure you guys are following Dystopunks on Twitter. Join their Discord, hop in the community, become part of it. Also join the SandStorm Discord. And I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we will see you guys again on Monday at 12 o'clock. And yeah, Dystopunk team, thank you guys once again for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for listening.
Yeah, thanks everyone.